What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a good weekend. In this video, I wanted to go over a little bit of CleanSpark information. We're going to look over the chart on Bitcoin, and I want to talk about a little misconception going on between some people that I've seen on social media. People are saying that CleanSpark's insiders are buying shares, and I want to show you what's really going on, or at least show you what they're likely referring to. Now, if you guys like these videos, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Definitely appreciate all your support. And if you guys like shirts like this, let me know in the comments below. I'm considering doing like a merchandise type thing, but just let me know what you think down below. Now remember, this is the last day of September as of this upload at least, and typically Bitcoin sees a bad September. Well, not this time. The month of September, we saw right around a 5% rise on Bitcoin. But before I get too sidetracked, let's go over what I want to talk about. Now, first off, I want to show you Bitcoin on the chart, and one thing that I'm watching for, I want to see us actually break 27 and hold. Currently, we're creating lower highs, but we're also creating higher lows. And you can see this tightening up on Bitcoin. I do think a breakout in either direction may cause a further push, so watch out for that. And you'll also notice that this is a pattern within a pattern. We are in a general uptrend since right around the beginning of September, funny enough. So if we do start pulling back, one thing I'm watching for is this blue ascending support line. But I do think there's a very good possibility that we see actually a breakout to the upside here and a push back up towards the resistance on this ascending channel. We have a lot to look forward to. Not just because of the halving coming up, not just because of the Fed likely relaxing its stance on rate hikes and eventually going to pivot and seeing a decrease in rates, but also because of this. One, Gary Gensler obviously doesn't want any spot ETFs, seems to be just always in crypto's way, while Congress is starting to put the heat to him. A little while ago, Congress was at a hearing with Gary Gensler, and he was trying to explain things in his typical way where he just beats around the bush, doesn't really tell you anything, can't answer a simple yes or no question. I think Congress is starting to get sick of it. And they say here, Congress has a duty to ensure that SEC approves investment products that meet the requirements set out by Congress. And to that end, we urge you to approve the listing of a spot Bitcoin ETF, ETP, immediately. And that following the Court of Appeals decision, the reason he's denying these spot ETFs is no longer valid. He needs to come up with a new reason. To put a long story short, there is no reason to continue to deny such applications under inconsistent and discriminatory standards, which also argued that a regulated spot Bitcoin exchange traded product would increase investor protection by making access to Bitcoin safer and more transparent. And we have Grayscale, a huge investment company, saying basically that the SEC's approval of exchange traded products holding Bitcoin futures instead of holding Bitcoin spot ETFs was evidence that the SEC's rejection was arbitrary and unlawful. The SEC responded by suggesting that futures ETPs were approved on the basis that they were traded in the more secure Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which would not be the case for the spot market ETFs. However, the appeals court decided that the SEC's argument was insufficient, so they are now ordered to figure out a new excuse or actually approve these spot ETFs. So I just wanted to give you context on what's going on with Gary Gensler and Congress and all that going on there. I haven't really talked about it, and for those of you that don't know what's going on, it does seem that Gary Gensler is starting to get persuaded a bit, I would say, by Congress, by Grayscale, and people are just saying enough is enough. Why approve one thing and not the other? And why can you not answer a damn question if Bitcoin is or isn't a security or a commodity? Now, this wasn't all I wanted to talk about briefly in this video. I also wanted to talk about something going on with CleanSpark. A few people here and there have been saying that insiders are buying, but let me show you what I think they're looking at. Now, I'll leave CleanSpark's investor relations tab for you down below in the description, as well as some free stocks and cryptos. Consider checking them out. It helps you, it helps me. But looking at these Form 4s, I'll pull one up as an example, but I admit I still have to go through a few more. But to me, it seems that these are simply RSUs, or restricted stock units. Now, for those of you that don't know what those aren't shares outright. These are basically milestone-based stock incentives, stock-based compensation. And you can see in the fine print here. Now we're looking at Gary V, the CFO's Form 4 here regarding what he is getting for these RSUs. But the restricted stock units vest in tranches, each equal to 1/3 of the grant. These units that he's receiving, the 600,000, is going to be split up in three, basically 200,000 per tranche. Upon achieving specified prices per share, representing 200, 300, and 400 respectively, of the issuer's stock price on the grant date. Now, the date that these were issued, I think it's 9/29 transaction date. Correct me if I'm wrong. But whatever CleanSpark's price was on that date, for them to utilize any of these restricted stock units and acquire shares to then sell or do whatever they want with, you need to see a 200% gain from Friday on September. For the next tranche, you need a 300%, and for the last one, you need 400%. So it's in their best interest to get CleanSpark's price up, therefore they can be granted these shares. But I just wanted to clear that up. Some people were saying that insiders are outright buying, but I don't believe this is the case, at least not based on these Form 4s that I'm seeing. But it does look like the execs all received this stock-based compensation, restricted stock units, and this gives them drive to continue to do good for the company, get that stock price up. And I believe I read somewhere, I need to do some research and pull this up, but I remember a while ago reading that they also get either Bitcoin or stock-based compensation based on certain hash rate milestones and Bitcoin mining milestones. But I definitely need to look into that a little more and see if that still applies to this year or if it was all the way back in 2022 or 2021, to be honest. Now, just because insiders aren't necessarily buying or based on these Form 4s they aren't, that doesn't make me any less bullish on this stock. And I actually see CleanSpark as a decade-long buy. That being said, I'm definitely going to try to be smart about it. I'm definitely going to be ready to take some profits in late 2024 throughout 2025 and get that cash balance ready so that I can buy more CleanSpark in the future bear market. But when you sit and just think about how far this company can go when you look a decade ahead, who knows where Bitcoin could be by then as future halvings continue to bring up the price of Bitcoin. I expect CleanSpark will remain a top Bitcoin miner, and when you look at hash rate to market cap, they are a better value than Mara, they are a better value than Riot, and many others in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Just thought I'd get this quick video out there for you. Do you think these spot Bitcoin ETFs are going to be approved by the end of this year? Do you think October will be a good month for Bitcoin and subsequently CleanSpark? And a lot of you guys ask me, what's my price target for CleanSpark in 2025, in late 2024? And I try to answer to the best of my ability, but in reality, none of us truly know where it's gonna go. But if you're feeling daring, let me know where you think CleanSpark or Bitcoin will be in 2024 after the halving, in 2025 at the peak, and let me know if you're not as worried about price targets but more worried about timeline to sell as I am. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you soon.